Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on Faith Like Wildflowers podcast. For today's episode, we are going to be continuing the Proverbs series and reading chapter 22, 23, and maybe 24, just because it has like a continuation within it of the 30 sayings of the wise. I'm not entirely sure, we'll see how it goes. And I apologize for missing a few days. I've been kind of busy. And also just trying to rest and everything. 2 nights that I didn't have anything. So yeah. Before we get started, let's pray. Dear Lord, I just thank you for today. And for really good weather outside and everything, Lord. And I just pray for this episode, Lord, as this series is kind of coming to an end and we're getting closer to chapter 31, Lord. I just pray that you continue to bring new revelations, continue to make us wiser, and just show us what you're saying in the word, Lord, and help it to speak to us and give us wisdom as we dig deeper into it and what you're saying and what you're meaning, Lord. You will just always give us fresh revelations and always give us discernment when we read your Bible, and just like how to learn more about you and how to apply it to our lives. Pray this all in your name, amen. Alright. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Rich and poor have this in common: the Lord is the maker of them all. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. Humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are riches and honor and life. In the paths of the wicked are snares and pitfalls, but those who would preserve their life stay far from them. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old they will not turn from it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Whoever sows injustice reaps calamity, and the rod they wield in fury will be broken. The generous will themselves be blessed for the share of their food with the poor. Drive out the mocker and out go strife. Quarrels and insults are ended. Alright. From these verses, verse 1 stuck out to me. A name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver and gold. Just talking about like your reputation and your personality, and like your actions and what you did are more important than your riches and like your fame and your fame and like your riches and money that you had and everything. People's heart posture's in the wrong place, so actually sometimes people do kind of think about that stuff and remember people for that stuff, but for like just a regular person, they're not going to think about, oh my word, they had this much money. When someone would pass away, they'll be like, oh, that person was super nice, or that person was super mean, however the personality was. People pay more attention to that stuff than they do other things, such as how much money they had. Excuse me. The generous themselves will be blessed, for they share the food with their with the poor. These verses talk about what we've been talking about in previous chapters, where no matter how much you have, if you give to others and bless others and tithe to the Lord and everything, God will provide for you and will bless you in return. Excuse me. Right, verse 11. One who loves a pure heart and speaks with grace will have a king for a friend. The eyes of the Lord keep watch over knowledge, but he frustrates the words of the unfaithful. The sluggards say, there's a lion outside, I'll be killed in the public square. The mouth of the adulterous woman is a deep pit. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into it. Folly is bound up at the heart of a child, but the rod of the discipline will drive it far away. One who oppresses the poor to increase his wealth, and one who gives gifts to the rich, both come to poverty. From these, it's important to have a pure heart and to speak with grace and reflect Jesus in that. My puppy was kicking me. Talking about how sin's just like not good. Yeah. I'm really excited to get into the sayings. This will be good. Hopefully more will stick out to me in that. But yeah, I didn't really get too much out of those first 16 verses. So kind of felt dry. I'm sorry. But let's move on to 30 sayings of the wise. Still in verse 22, verse 17. Still in chapter 22, verse 17. Pay attention and turn your ear to the sayings of the wise. Apply your heart to what I teach. For it is pleasing when you keep... Excuse me. For it is pleasing when you keep them in your heart and have all of them ready on your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I teach you today, even you. Have I not written 30 sayings for you, teaching you to be honest and speak the truth, so that you bring back truthful reports to those you serve? So this is talking about how it's important to take these next things to importance and like take them to heart, because they are wisdom that we can apply to our life. Alright, saying 2, verse 22 of chapter 22. Sorry, that was ADHD. That was weird. Anyways, do not exploit the poor because they are poor, and do not crush the needy in court, for the Lord will take up their case and will exact life for life. Sorry, I keep yawning. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. I gotta speak on that one. I gotta be careful how I say this. There was a time in my life when there were a few people that would be very, very negative. And I found myself being negative as well, because I was surrounded by them a lot. And when you are surrounded by people a lot, you start to do things or act like them or say things like them. And so because they were always negative, it was causing me to be more negative and have a more negative mindset, and then I would speak that out and also be negative and speaking out negativity. And so I think that's, like, I can really testify to this verse that when you are friends with hot-tempered people, you will also learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. So it's very true. Like, I'm speaking to say that it's true. But yeah, I hope that made sense, because I had to be careful, because I don't know. People, I think, will know who I'm talking about. Possibly. But I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, anytime, like, I'm around those people now, I just, like, remember that, and it kind of puts me in a negative mindset because of that. And I don't know if they're still the same way or not. I have a feeling that at least one of them is. Maybe more than one, especially when they're together. So yeah, I try not to surround myself with them anymore, and it's a lot easier to not have to now. But yeah, anyways, this is the best description I can give to apply that to, like, saying yes, I have seen that, and I can say that is true, and that is good wisdom. Right, saying for verse 26 of chapter 22. Do not be one who shakes hands in pledge or puts up security for debts. If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you. Do not move an ancient boundary stone set up by your ancestors. Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials or low rank. Alright, we're just going to continue on to chapter 23, because it's continuing the sayings. So saying 7. When you sit to dine with a ruler, note well what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. Do not crave his delicacies, for the food is deceptive. Okay, I am dumb. Not really, but I don't know what the word gluttony means, so I want to look it up. Oh, that felt good. I cracked my neck. Gluttony definition: habitual greed or excess in eating. Put a knife to your throat if you are given to greed. Do not crave his delicacies, for the food is deceptive. Okay, so I think this is saying it's important. Sorry, I had to take a moment to reread that and take that in. I think this is saying when you're entering a room for an event or for anything really, just take note of your surroundings and take note of the people that you're around, and be careful how you interact with them based on what you took in at the beginning. And also kind of going back to the negativity, don't completely associate yourself with them or get closer to them or share too much with people if you get a negative vibe from them, versus if you can tell that they're filled with compassion and grace and reflect the heart of Jesus. I think that's what that verse is saying, and I have a better way of understanding in my head than versus how that came out. I wasn't very good at describing what was in my head. But I hope that you can kind of understand and that can kind of make sense. Oh, that's hot. Open my window. Okay. Saying 8, verse 4. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. Cast but a glance at riches and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. Do not eat the food of the begrudging host. Do not crave his delicacies, for he's the kind of person who is always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the little you have eaten, and you will have wasted your compliments. Again, just talking about being careful with who you surround yourself with and making sure that they are a generous person and are not just there to get something out of it or something like that, not just there because of the cost or thinking about the cost and everything, but just not caring about that and being obedient to God. Yeah. Saying 10, do not speak to fools, for you will scorn your prudent words. Do not move an ancient boundary stone or encroach on the fields of the fatherless, for their defender is strong. He will take up their case against you. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to the word of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish them with the rod, they will not die. Punish them with the rod and save them from death. So it's important to have discipline, because it will save you from death versus, and it might seem like it says rod, the rough discipline. But that's actually the better discipline than sparing the child from the rod. Saying 14, my son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad indeed. My inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise, and set your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in the rags Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old, but the truth, and do not buy the truth, and do not sell it. Wisdom, instruction, and insight as well. The father of the righteous child has great joy. A man who fathers a wise son rejoices in him. May your father and mother rejoice. May she who gave you birth be joyful. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes delight in my ways, for an adulterous woman is a deep pit, and a wayward wife is a narrow well. Like a bandit she lies in wait and multiplies the unfaithful among men. I think a lot of this is just talking about why it's important not to sin and why it's important not to do certain sins, and just addressing certain sins, and also just like addressing that the person that is living in sin will be disciplined and will have to reap what they sowed, and since they sowed in bad things, they will be reaping sorrow and like discipline and things like that. And then it's also just making it very clear to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I can't think of it. Like, look around and figure out your surroundings. I can't think of a word for that, but, notice who people are and how they act and everything, and don't be friends with the people that are running towards sin and are going to lead you down that path. It's talking about how it's very easily that we can be influenced and peer pressured, and how when someone is living in sin, they will very likely pull you that way versus you pulling them towards Christ and being righteous. Alright, saying 19. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? Those who linger over wine, who go to sample bowls of mixed wine. Do not gaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end it bites like a snake, and the poison like a viper. Okay, this I'm going to take as an analogy, which I'm assuming is what it is, but I don't know for sure. But how I'm seeing this, I'm just like envisioning the wine, especially the red wine, being sin, and how it like looks super, super pleasing and super fun, and like it's gonna be a good thing, and it's gonna be so worth it, even though we know it's a sin. But it will come back to bite us like a snake and poison us like a viper. Like, it is bad. It will, it will not end out good. It will end in hurt and needing discipline and shame and guilt. It will end in calamity and disaster, and it will not be worth it. So yeah, that's what I'm viewing the wine as, sin, any type of sin. I don't think it's necessarily saying that drinking wine is a sin. Obviously, don't let it make you drunk and everything, because it was talking earlier, drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. So it's important to not become drunk over it, but I don't necessarily think it's a sin. Now, I personally don't think I'm ever going to try it, just personally. So, if you take that standpoint, don't take me wrong. Don't take me wrong for what I'm saying, but I don't think that drinking wine in general is a sin. Alright, verse 33. Your eyes will see strange sights, and your mind will imagine confusing things. You will be like one sleeping on high seas, lying on top of rigging. They hit me, you will say, but I am not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. When will I wake up so I can find another drink? I'm gonna walk away from the screen to get my water real quick, but I'm still gonna be talking in the microphone. So if you're watching, that's where I am. But I think this verse is just saying, sorry that you had to hear my water bottle making noises. I think this verse is just saying, like, how do I put this into words? I have things in my mind of how I want to say it, but I can't put it into words. Hold on, give me a second to think. Okay. I think this verse is also just saying, like, it will completely overcome you without you knowing it, and then you'll be like, when can I complete this sin next? When can I take my drink next? When can I, whatever the sin might be, when can I do that again? And, like, it overcomes you and you don't even realize it. I think that's what this verse is hinting at and saying. Let's see, we're at 20 minutes. Chapter 24 ends the same as this. I think we're just going to combine all three together, and this will be a longer one, but you can split it up and, like, do 24 later. You don't have to listen to it all at once. So yeah. Do not envy the wicked, do not desire their company, for their hearts plot violence and their lips talk about making trouble. By wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. The wise prevail through great power, and those who have knowledge muster their strength. Surely you need guidance to wage war, and victory is won through many advisers. Wisdom is too high for fools. In the assembly at the gate they must not open their mouths. So a lot of this is just talking about how great wisdom is, and how it's too much for fools, and we must live in righteousness and for God in order to obtain wisdom, because God is a God of knowledge and wisdom, and He grants that to us. Saying 24, verse 8. Whoever plots evil will be known as a schemer, however you say that. The schemes of the folly are sin, and the poor detest a mocker. Of the falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength? Rescue those being led away to death, and hold back those staggering toward slaughter. If you say, but we knew nothing about this, does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who guards your life know it? Will you not repay everyone according to what they have done? Eat honey, my son, for it is good. Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know also that wisdom is like honey for you. If you find it, there is future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. I like how it combines, oh my goodness, compares, that's what I'm looking for, wisdom to honey, and how it's like super sweet. And I personally don't like honey, but I love sweetness, so I'm just gonna like compare it to ice cream or something. It's like something sweet that everyone really would like, and wisdom is to be treasured like that, and to be, why can't I not think of the word I'm looking for? Is to be desired and like wanted, because it's such a good thing. And I think this verse is just really trying to point out and get the point down of how great sin is. And not sin, holy crap, where did that come from? Of how great wisdom is. Sin is not great, guys. Oh my goodness. I am tired. Okay. I'm just gonna move on from that. I hope you guys got what I was trying to say. My goodness, I apologize. Saying 27, verse 15. Do not lurk like a thief near the house of the righteous. Do not plunder their dwelling place. For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. Do not gloat when the enemy falls. When they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice. Or the Lord will see and disprove and turn his wrath away from them. It is important to not be rejoicing when the wicked get what they deserve. That is powerful. Or the Lord will disapprove and he will turn his wrath away from them. That's crazy how much power us rejoicing over the wicked getting what they deserve is. Wow. Humbling. Alright, saying 29. Do not fret because the evildoers or be envious of the wicked. For the evildoer has no future hope, and the lamp of the wicked will be snuffed out. Fear the Lord, my king, my son. Fear the Lord and the king, my son, and do not join with rebellious officials, for those who will send sudden destruction on them, and who knows what the calamities they can bring. These are your sayings. These are also are the sayings of the wise: to show partiality in judging is not good. Whoever says to the guilty, you are innocent, will be cursed by the people, denounced by nations. I think this is saying, sorry, my nose is so itchy right now. My word. I think this verse is saying not to have favoritism or like show biasness. Verse 25, but it will go well with those who convict the guilty, and rich blessing will come on them. An honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. Put the outdoor work in order and get your fields ready. After that, build your house. Do not testify against the neighbor without cause. Would you use your lips to mislead? Do not say, I'll do to them as they have done to me. I'll pay them back for what they did. I went past the field of the sluggard, past the vineyard of someone who has no sense. Thorns had come up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds, and the stone was in ruins. I applied my heart to what I observed and learned a lesson from what I saw. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding on the hands to rest. The poverty will come one like you, like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. Verse 32 stands out to me. I applied my heart to what I observed and learned a lesson from what I saw. So I think what you see others also, like, not a lot of people say like we learn from our mistakes, but I think we can also learn from other people's mistakes and observe and then learn from that as well, which is also like seeking advice from people that have gone through things that you're going through now, like having mentors of people who are older than you. So yeah, that's all that I got from Proverbs 22, 23, and 24. Did I reread any of those? What did I do last time, guys? I am completely glitching out right now. Oh, goodness. The last episode was 20 and 21. And I read 22, 23, and 24. Okay, we're good. Oh my goodness. One of those days. So, I cannot talk. I would like you guys to comment down below what you learned, or any revelations that stuck out to you. I did not speak on a lot of verses just because I didn't get much out of some of them, so comment down below anything that you learned. I would love to learn with you as well. I just spoke what the Lord was standing out to me and like how I was interpreting these verses. So yeah, I would love to hear what you guys have to say, so please comment, and be sharing this podcast with others as well so that we can reach more people. I love sharing what God is laying in my heart, and I love going through this Proverbs series and just getting in the Word. It's super important to be in the Word and grounded in the Word and rooted in it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you so much.